And unfortunately, our state is not immune. So we're going to do something about it. Look around the room today. We have Republicans, we have Democrats, members of law enforcement, members of the executive and legislative and judicial branches of government. We have state and local government officials, members of the business community, and so forth. Clearly, Alabama is committed to combating public safety threats, and the comprehensive Safe Alabama Public Safety Package is a critical step to accomplishing that. It is imperative we support law enforcement, especially as recruiting and retaining these brave men and women is a challenge all across the country. And it's important that we combat inner-city crime and combat inner-city gun violence in a way that is reasonable and responsible and does not impede on the rights of our law-abiding citizens. We will show law enforcement we have their backs. We will support long-serving law. We will support long-serving law enforcement families through dependent scholarships. We will crack down on inner-city gun violence by enhancing penalties for dangerous felons with guns. We will expand Anna's Law. We will boost our successful metro area crime suppression unit. We will ban Glock switches, and we will enhance the supervision of high-risk juveniles. Y'all, this package is responsible and it's important. As I've said, bolstering public safety is my #1 priority for this session, and I look forward to getting these bills to my desk so I can officially make it law and create a safer Alabama. All of our priority areas, from education to job creation, all require safe communities. And working together, we will accomplish that for our citizens. A safe Alabama is a secure future for Alabama, and a secured future is our goal. Thank you all for being here today, and thank you for your support. Speaker Ledbetter, I'll now turn it over to you.
Thank you, Governor Ivey. I appreciate that very much, and certainly want to recognize the men and women in blue. If you serve in one of those capacities, would you please stand up for us now? I want to see everybody that's in here. Let's give them a big round of applause. These are the men and women that protect us every day, and I think it's time that the people of Alabama know that the state of Alabama and its leadership backs the blue. Today's a testament of the power of partnership. From my office starting point, the package was a group of House members coming to me because of what's been happening in their communities. It's a bipartisan group. It wasn't Republican or it wasn't Democrat. It's an issue that matters, that works for all of us and protects the people of Alabama. It comes down to the fact that our most important cities are struggling. People are losing their lives and communities are being torn apart. That's where the ideal for a safe Alabama comes from. What it's grown into is going to save lives and show that the state's law enforcement officers in Alabama we have your backs. We're going to support the spouses and the children, the Representative Treadway's law enforcement dependent scholarships, because we know that behind every badge there's a family who depends on the man and women that wears the blue. And we're sending a clear message to the violent crimes and lawlessness that has taken place across our state by making the metro area crime suppression unit a statewide full-time unit that will go into communities that's struggling with crime and cut off that's a source. Hal, thank you for your leadership, and what your team has been doing here in Montgomery has been remarkable. Sheriff Cunningham, thank you for your leadership. None of this would be possible without those who contribute their expensive and their times and the craft of the package. Governor Ivey, her team, Sheriff Cunningham, Sheriff Hoffmax, Hal Taylor, House members, our countless private and public partnerships. Let us give all a round of applause to these people today for what they've done for our state already. Today's a big day for our state. Together we can make Alabama safer. And as it can be pro-law enforcement, we can be pro-public safety. And today we'll start that journey. Thank you very much for what you guys do.
When the Alabama legislature, the Alabama House, the Alabama State Senate works with the executive branch and the people in blue, we can accomplish anything, and we're thank you for being here today. In too many areas across Alabama, we have experienced rising crime rates. Too many Alabamians now feel unsafe in their communities that they call home. Too many criminals feel empowered, and they thumb their noses up at the laws that keep us all safe and bind us together as Alabamians. Too many law enforcement officers feel that they lack support from elected officials and who are supposed to have their backs. The public safety package being considered by the legislature during this 2025 regular session reverses those trends and combats the lack of respect for law and order that took firm root during the Biden-Harris administration. Our legislation helps recruit new officers, shields them from bogus claims against them. It expands penalties to keep lawbreakers behind bars and binds local and state laws enforcement agencies together in a coordinated effort to end violent crime in our cities, streets, and neighborhoods. Most importantly, it preserves the traditional morals, conservative principles, and deeply held Alabama values that so many of us embrace here in Alabama. Passage of the public safety package will ensure that an already great state becomes an even better state for its citizens to live, to work, to worship, and raise families. I am confident, as the President Pro Tem of the Alabama State Senate, that once these bills and measures are enacted into law, we will all enjoy safer communities, stronger bonds, and even brighter days ahead for all Alabamians. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Tommy Battle, Mayor of the City of Huntsville, and along with my friend Walt here, we're here to represent the Big Ten mayors and the mayors from across the area. And it's good to be here today. As we see Mayor Simpson here, Mayor Woodfin was here. We've seen a number of our mayors here, and that's because of a very important issue that's hitting us today. Public safety is the main reason our cities were formed in the early 1800s and the late 1700s. Without it, our society crumbles. It's important for public safety officers to know they have our support and that we can give them the tools to effectively do their job. It's also important to assure the public that the state and county and city leaders value the safety we're working for every day in our communities, and something that they should become ready to expect day by day. The Safe Alabama package is a comprehensive action that broadens our efforts to keep citizens safe, knowing that safety is a first priority for every city. I want to thank Governor Ivey, Speaker Ledbetter, Senator Gudger, and Senator Singleton and their hard work and dedication in identifying the need for this package and for taking the steps to make sure that this package becomes a reality. Alabama will be a safer and better place because of this, and it will be a safer and better place for all of us to live, for all of us to work, for all of us to thrive. Thank you.
Good morning. To echo what Mayor Battle has said, I want to thank, on behalf of the Big Ten mayors and the people of Tuscaloosa, Governor Ivey, Mr. Speaker, Mr. President Pro Tem. Congratulations to all of you, because what you've done today is put together the political might across socioeconomic, political, and all lines in Alabama. Last Monday, I met with Mr. Marvin Billups, who gave me permission to share this story with you. His son was killed New Year's Eve in Tuscaloosa, a tragic loss. As many of you know in law enforcement, and I've certainly learned in 20 years of representing the people of Tuscaloosa, and there's nothing you can say to someone who has lost their son to tragic gun violence that can heal that wound. I told him that the governor and the legislature were putting together a package of bills that were going to make Alabama safer. And Governor, when I asked him for permission to share this story with you, he said, please tell the governor thank you for doing that. And so, Governor, on behalf of Mr. Billups, on behalf of mayors across Alabama, that public safety is our #1 priority, and certainly on behalf of all the law enforcement officers who every day put their lives on the line, thank you for coming together. Thank you for being willing to stand up for people like Mr. Billups and all Alabamians who deserve, at the very core, a safe home, a safe neighborhood, a safe street. God bless each of you, and God may continue to bless all of you, especially those in law enforcement. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm State Representative Philip Ensler, represent District 74 here in Montgomery, and here just to speak very briefly in support of the Glock switch bill. To echo what Mayor Maddox said, this really stemmed from hearing from residents, hearing from families in Montgomery and throughout the state. Another personal story, a mother named Vanessa Pierce came up to me after a neighborhood meeting here in Montgomery, and she said, Representative Ensler, I know that you can't bring my son Trayvon back, but you can save other lives moving forward. He was killed by a gun with a Glock switch, so this is very personal to her, and that's why I've been fighting the last few years for this bill, and I'm grateful, though, for the bipartisan support for it, for the law enforcement support. It has really been a team effort. I've said it over and over again, it's not a Democrat or Republican issue, it is a human issue. So together with the Glock switch bill, we can save lives. We can give our law enforcement another tool here in Alabama to help keep us safe. So thank you all, and appreciate it.
Well, good evening. I'm Sheriff Derek Cunningham here in Montgomery, Alabama. Glad to be here. I'm glad to be here, Governor. Thanks for the invite. This is something that we in law enforcement, I'm speaking on behalf of you all, we in law enforcement have witnessed firsthand. We witnessed this firsthand. We witnessed the shootings. We witnessed the drive-by shootings. We witnessed the tears, the agony of families being torn apart with all this gun violence. We live here. This is our community. We feel the same way that the community feels. And now you're giving us some ammunition. You're giving us some tools to be able to fight back. On behalf of us in law enforcement and behalf of the community, thank y'all. Thank you for hearing us. Thank you for being there with us. And thank you for this safer Alabama, because it's going to change lives and it's going to give us the tools that we need to do our job. Thank y'all.
Thank you again for everyone being here this morning. What we're about to do is pass this legislation is important. And it's responsible, and our citizens deserve it. So thank you, everyone. And as we conclude, I'd like to first invite up all of our legislators to have a picture, and then I'll invite everyone up here, and we'll do the same.